Yeah, so the last thing I want to ask you, obviously it's a different promotion, but we do have a UFC championship with Volk and Islam, and you have stepped into the cage with Volk before.
Yeah.
Just curious, how do you see that fight playing out? What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on it?
Yeah, I have a pretty good insight on it. I've trained with Islam a lot out here in Vegas as well
Oh,
during
okay,
COVID.
nice.
Yeah, in COVID, their whole crew that usually was in California. California was like locked down, so they all came out here and were training here for a few months. And so I got a lot of working with them, like Khabib's team, all that whole team, and man, they're all killers. I
Yeah,
think their style, they're all really good at the same thing, and you get all world class guys really good at one thing, all doing it to each other every single day. They just continue to elevate. And I just think the size is going to be a bit different.
right.
Volk isn't the biggest 45er. He's the perfect size for 145. He's dense, he's strong, but Islam is not a small 55er either. He struggles to make that weight. I think the size difference is going to be huge in there, and with the style of like that Dagestani wrestling style, size is important. But then on the other side, you got Vulcan. If you're gonna have a build to not get taken down and held down, it's like a little ball of muscle. So I'm interested to see it. I think you're gonna know within the first round how that whole fight's gonna go.
Yeah.
If Vulcan can fend him off and play to the outside and angles and keep him away, then he could steal it. Win the rounds and even win a decision. But if Islam is able to get a hold of him and take him down right away, it's going to be a long night, I think.
Yeah, just based on your experience with Volk, what is it that he does well that would work against a guy like Islam, who's obviously the size difference is going to be the story, but what is it that he does well just in terms of how he could possibly win that fight?
Just how he sticks to a game plan. You've seen it against Holloway 3 times. He is just doesn't matter. He doesn't get deterred or doesn't have any brain mishaps or anything throughout the fight. He's always on, which is incredible for a fighter. And
Yeah,
he doesn't panic like against Ortega, getting caught deep in a submission. 90% of people are going out at that point. And
yeah.
he finds these ways to stick to his game plan and make it work, and he stays resilient to that.
And if you were to give Islam a bit of advice, what would you tell him about how to win that fight? Obviously, Islam's like
He's gonna
he's
know.
got Khabib, he's so good, but what
Close that distance, close
close
that
the
distance, get
distance.
a hold of him and drag him to deep waters and do what he does.
Yeah.
Islam's the best at what he does, and that's taking people down, mauling them until they either get submitted or TKO.
So you think Islam takes that by submission is my guess.
I mean, if I had to lay down right now what's going to happen, yes or no, I would say Islam wins. Probably submission 3rd round, but that's even hard because you just can't picture it. I can't picture
Yeah.
Volk being submitted. He hasn't done it. He hasn't really lost, so it's a hard one to predict, man. But I do think Islam's going to win.